welcome back to another energy break. So today we are going to focus on balance and stretching. So we're going to start thinking about setup. So I want you to bring your feet to underneath you, make sure your knees are soft so you're not pushing your kneecaps backwards. Tilt your pelvis so your tailbone is pointing down towards the ground, stretching out through that spine. So really thinking about growing towards the ceiling, and then thinking about your pelvic floor, so getting in that lift on floor 1, riding up to floor 10, really feeling that internal squeeze of those pelvic floor muscles. Then you're going to bring it back down slowly to floor 2 or 3, and we're going to hold it there. Next, thinking about your core, so really pulling your belly button towards your spine, your ribs down towards your hips, and then just slowly releasing it slightly until you can feel that you're still holding on to those core muscles, but you don't feel like you can't breathe. Next, thinking about those shoulders, we're just going to take 3 shoulder rolls backwards and 3 shoulder rolls forwards, and then just a little up and down with those shoulders, and then just let your arms hang where they want to. Just give those fingers a little bit of a wiggle, wrists a little bit of a flick, and then again bring them to a standstill. And we're going to start with balance. Core engaged, you're going to move your weight into your left leg, bring your right leg out in front, and you're going to start with a semicircle. So we're just working through that hip, thinking about standing tall, belly button to spine, pelvic floor engage, soft knee on that supporting leg. Keep your belly button to spine, core engaged. We can do 3 more of these. 2, and final 1. And then bring that leg down, and you're going to go to the other side. So right leg to the floor, left foot in front, and then starting with your semicircle. Core engaged. Think about growing towards the ceiling. See if you can make yourself longer. And final 3, 2, and final 1. And then bringing that leg down, you're going to move your weight back into the left leg, and you're going to bring your right knee up. Core engaged again, make sure that knee of the supporting leg is soft, and we're just going to create a circle in front. If you need something to hold on to, make sure it's something solid. We're just opening up through that hip. Thinking belly button to spine, core engaged, pelvic floor on, scooping up those pelvic floor muscles. And then taking it in the other direction. And then bringing that knee to a standstill, holding it here, core engaged. You're going to take that knee out to the side, back to the middle, out to the side, back to the middle. So we're working on balance today for the first part of our energy break, making sure that you're keeping that knee soft on that supporting leg, and you're keeping your pelvis facing forward, so your hips stay facing forward. Imagine they're the headlights of your car, and you're just moving that leg out to the side and back to the middle. Final 2, keep thinking belly button to spine, growing towards the ceiling. Final 1, and then bringing that leg down, and we're going to swap to the other side, core engaged, soft knee, bring that leg up, thinking about the circle coming from your knee. We're just circling. So only make your circle as big as you can keep your balance. Keep thinking belly button to spine, growing towards the ceiling. Do 3 more in this direction. 2, and final 1, and then taking it in the other direction. 3, 2, 1. Holding it there. Remember, hips stay facing forward, out to the side, back to the middle. So hips stay still, leg moves. Try and keep your knee up as high as you can without losing that hip control. Thinking belly button to spine, core engaged. Pull your ribs down towards your hips so you're engaging that rectus abdominis. 4 more, doing really well. 3, and 2, And final one, can't do two things at once today. And bringing that leg back down. Just keeping your feet underneath you, core engaged. We're just going to do a little set of squats. So you're going to take your bum backwards, bring your chest forward slightly and come down into that imaginary chair. Check in with your shoulder blades, make sure they're not crept up towards your ears. Core engaged, knees are staying behind your toes. And from here we're going to lift a heel and lower. Lift a heel and lower. Now as you lift your heels, try not to sway from side to side. Think about the weight staying even and just lifting and lowering. Push through your whole foot. Bring yourself back to standing, core engaged, down into that chair, holding it there. Lift and lift and lift and lift. Final time on each side. And then pushing back up to standing, core engaged, bum backwards, chest forwards, hold and lift and lift and lift and lift. Final time on each side, belly button to spine, and then bring yourself back up to standing, core engaged. This time we're going to come down into that squat, and I want you to bring yourself as low as you can come. See if you can bring your hands to the floor and then just bring your knees forward so you're coming down onto your mat. So we're going to start with a little stretch. Now we're on the floor, so you need an object. It doesn't need to be a foam roller, anything will do, a cushion would do. You're going to place that under your knee, or it's just above your knee joint. Hands are coming behind you, so they're just supporting your weight and your balance a little bit. Core engaged. You're going to bring your foot up, so you're locking out through that knee joint, holding it there for me. I'm going to hold it there for 10 seconds. And then slowly releasing it back off to the floor. And again, so you're going to push your knee backwards into your object, holding it there for 10 seconds. And then slowly releasing it back to the floor. So really slow, controlled back down. So pushing your knee into that object, hold it there. And then slowly releasing back to the floor. Final time on this side, so pushing your knee into that object, holding it there. And then slowly releasing back to the floor. Changing sides, so moving your object over to your other leg, making sure it's just above your patella, so just above your kneecap. Core engaged, pushing your knee backwards into that object and lifting your foot, holding it there. And then slowly lower, keep thinking belly button to spine, core engaged. Make sure you're not forgetting about those core muscles. And then slowly lower, final 3 here. Lift and hold. And then slowly lower, and final one on this side. And then slowly lower, and we're going back to the other side. So moving your object over so it's back to just in front of your knee of your other leg, core engaged, holding that position nice and still. Then you're pushing into that object, lifting your leg up. So you should feel this working in the top of your leg. And then slowly lowering back down. 4 more, core engaged, leg up. And then slowly lowering back down, and final 3. Really pushing down on that object, slowly lowering that leg back down, final 2. And then slowly lowering back down, and final 1, pushing into that object, holding your leg up. And then slowly lowering that leg back to the floor. Coming over to your other side, core engaged, holding it there, pushing into the object. And then slowly lowering back down, and again slowly pushing up, pushing into that object, foot up. And then slowly lowering back down. And final 3, push into that object, core engaged. And slowly lowering, final 2, push and hold. And slowly lowering back down, and final 1. And then slowly, with control, lowering that leg back down. Okay, from here, final little stretch. We're going to do a 90-90 stretch. So you're coming to sitting, feet are coming in front of you. Then you're going to take your legs over to the left-hand side. So your legs are bent in front of you. Left hand comes so it's roughly in line with your left hip. You're going to pick up your top leg and move it back behind you. So your top leg is coming, so your knee and your hip are roughly in a line. Top hand, so right hand, is coming back behind you, and then you're going to try and push your hip back to the floor, and you should feel that stretch in the top of your leg. Holding it there, so try and disengage that glute and you'll get more out of that hip. Holding it there. We're going to hold this for roughly 50 seconds, but you could hold this for a lot longer if you wanted to. But we'll just do 50 seconds today. Keep thinking belly button to spine, keep that core engaged. And then you're stretching and not really focusing on core. Keeping it there. 40 seconds to go. Always seems a lot longer when you make stretches a minute instead of 30 seconds. Keep pushing that hip back to the floor. We've got 10 seconds to go. And then we're going to swap legs. So you're bringing both legs back to the middle. Swapping sides. So right leg is now on the bottom. Left hand is coming behind you. Left leg comes up and behind you. So left knee and hip are in alignment. Bring that under my ankle. And then pushing that hip back to the floor. Core engaged. Try not to slouch backwards. Try and stay sitting up as tall as you can, even though you're at a kind of a funky angle. We've got 35 seconds to go. Trying to stop that glute from activating and push your hip back to the floor. Final 10 seconds. And then bringing both legs back to the front, just stretching those legs out in front of you, pulling your toes towards you. Pointing your toes away from you, pulling your toes towards you. And then we're going to leave it there for today. I hope you enjoyed today's little energy break. It was quite a stretchy and balanced focus one today. Join me next Wednesday at 11 o'clock for another 10-minute workout. Take care, have a super day. Bye.